Alright, there was a glimpse of machining a taper on one of my marine shafts. Now it doesn't have to be a marine shaft, it could be any shafting material with good quality finish on the outside running true with a machine surface that's going to blend into that. Before you can even put that bar into the lathe to turn, it should be running true, and the tolerances will be up to you. The greatest thing that's helped me along my career in helping me check and create straight shafts is my shafting rollers. And due to the popular request for my shafting rollers, which followed a comment I made on my video Straight on Bronze Part 2, and I was flooded with emails, I was flooded with comments, and the request just flew in for shafting kits. Well, let me show you what I come up with. Welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and we're going to go ahead and move this over to the side because on that video Straight on Bronze Part 2 you got to see the rollers working pretty good there, offsetting them and everything else. So let me get this over to the side here. Alright, I want to make it clear that a shafting kit is a pair of rollers. Alright, now I set those over there, we'll set those over there. This kit will let you build a pair of rollers. Now I have a material list, and created this because when I got flooded in here and everybody wants a kit, the reason why I was interested in creating a kit for you is for one person to go out and buy, even myself, to go out and buy and build another set of rollers. I have to buy X amount of length of materials unless I just happen to be able to scrap through a boneyard or used parts or used material, odds and ends, rims, and that kind of thing, and take that time up to collect all of those things, which maybe that's how I built my first set. But anyhow, I streamlined it into creating a quantity, and my first run, or my first quantity, I actually built in California, and I think I built close to, I don't know, maybe it was 2 dozen to 30 shafting rollers. So that said, you know, that created probably 10 to 15 sets, and I streamlined it so that it was easy to assemble. Of course, I've had that comment as well, and I want to bring that up while we're doing this kit. And I have it drawn out, but I don't show you the weld symbols and that this thing is welded in on the ends here, where there is options, because not everybody's a welder. You might want to screw and bolt it. And actually, the original set that I actually kind of downsized and analyzed its design and incorporated it into my own in its own shape, but the proportions of trunnion and pivot and size and length and rollers, everything else was all downsized into what I have here. And that set mounted the side carriers with 2 bolts in here, and it had other ways to fasten the metals together to become this shape. Okay, now I do believe it's just an easy weld on there, and the other pieces in here will get welded, and I'll do that in my video of creating the kits, or working the kit and creating the sets of rollers, because I plan on building several sets, and I'm going to include those in the What's in Your Box Toolbox giveaway. So that's how I'll lead off after this video. My next video will be in and starting to do the machine work on these rollers sets. Now, what I did is I went ahead and I purchased a full-length bar of every material that I needed, and then I cut that material up and then divided the cost of that total material into each piece, and came up with a reasonable price for the material to build the kit. All right, and I'll kind of go over this here real quick, and I don't have the prices written down anywhere else except for right here in front of my face, but I do have the material list now on my website, and I have a page for the Wright Roller Kits, and I show the material list and I show the drawings right there. It is not necessary that I sell you this material. I'm offering the kit to you. If you can scrounge up and get all the material and go ahead and copy and paste my dimensions and my drawings from my website, feel free. That still gets you a set of rollers. You're still putting all the effort into creating a set of rollers. Okay? But for those that don't want to spend the extra bucks on buying that full lengths or all the effort there, and you would like me to just send you a kit at a nice reasonable price, so that you can build your own kits, you know, that's what this is all about. All right, and I'm just going to quickly go over this, because each and every one of these is just a quick mathematical figuring on how many I actually got out of my bars. And there's a couple pieces there where I didn't really have a full length bar, but they had a 6-footer and a 4-footer or whatever, so it basically came out about the same. But you know, their rims are, you know, plus or minus a couple inches. The first thing, or the main body of the roller set, is the 1x2 box tube, and these are roughly 6 inches long. And these tubes came out to be $1.75 for a pair of tubes. The next item that was on my list was the base plate. Okay, now this is cold roll finish. There's no mill scale on here. It's beautiful cold roll finish. 2 pieces of 1/2 by 2.5 and 7 5/8 long. those two pieces, $3.90. The next material here, this is also cold roll, 1/2 inch by 2 inch by 2 1/4 inches long, 4 pieces. Those 4 pieces, $3.41. Pivot blocks is the next piece. It's 3/4 by 3/4 cold roll square. All right, cut off to the length. This is the pivot block, and 4 of those are $1.60. All right, the 5/8 pivot pin, and that would be the ones that are a little bit longer right here. This is 5/8 by 1 3/8 long, 4 each of them, 75 cents. Now, just to make it clear, I'm not selling these parts individually. I'm only releasing this as a kit. It'll be all or nothing. It's kind of like my life story, I think. The next is the roller pins. These are actually the pins that go through and they actually hold the bearings in the housing. And they are 1 1/16 long. These are my rough cuts because I leave you some material to machine on all surfaces there. On a few of the box tubes, I might be borderline there and the saw might cut slightly off. I'm going to agree to that right now just in case you accidentally get one. But the main part of this whole project is making these two exactly the same and then creating the center from there. So 10-15 thousandths is not critical, even though my silly drawings probably carry everything out to 3 places. Oh well. So anyway, these 4 5/8 by 1 1/16, 65 cents. Let's see here. We got roller pin keepers. These are the flat bars that come in on the side right here, and they hold the pins from drifting out of the box tube, and they also are the outside surfaces that the bolt that goes through comes onto, like washers. And those 1/8 by 3/4 by 2 inch long, 4 each, are 36 cents. We got a tube spacer. Now, I didn't get what I really wanted for this, and just because my supplier didn't have it and I wanted to have something on the truck that was comparable. These are a little bit smaller on the board, but they still are tubing, and the trade-off is they are stainless steel. They are the only stainless steel item that I have in here. Not that that's important, because I've taken my units apart that I've created well over 25 years ago, and they're not having any problem with rust. I probably have put another set of bearings in those over the years, but and that's just a quick change that you can change bearings in the roller sets there within 5 minutes. You're completely ready to go again on them. All right, these 2 pieces right here, they're 95 cents, and that's only because they were stainless steel. And they'd probably be a little bit cheaper if it was. Ideally, these right here should be 1/8 schedule 80 pipe, and then you wouldn't have to do anything with the board, all just face on each side. But this kit, as long as I have this material here, and as long as that lasts, you'll have to run the drill down through to create your clearance. Now, on my original sets, I had a piece of all thread going through here with a nut on each side. And I went ahead and measured it out, and I've got grade 8 zinc plated 1/4 20s with a nut, and the cap screws come to 24 cents, and the hex nuts come to about 8 cents. All right, we have 4 bearings. These 1628 rubber sealed bearings. I get the 4 of them for $9. All right, so this whole kit basically comes into about $22.69. Now, that was the price about a month ago that I started cutting up and putting all this stuff together, and I want to leave myself just a little margin there in case I have anything that's been increased and everything else. And I'm going to call the raw cost material at $24.50. All right, I don't think you can go out and get all of these items as rems or anything else there. You might, you know, you're gonna be the one that has to hunt it up for $24.50. Now, I'm gonna cut this up and I'm gonna prep it. Meaning, I'm just gonna cut it. I'm gonna wipe it dry. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sand the rough edges on there, and make sure that they're all together and get them in a box for you for 20 bucks. All right, that's 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 27 pieces that I got to cut up in individual cuts and everything else. And then, you know, the rest of the stuff is just procuring it. I thought that was a fair price there. It might be a little bit low, but I'm going to go with it. Now, that means, and I'll include a set of drawings. I have a full set of drawings, the same that you see on my website there, that it'll start out with the material list. Then your page 2, or it's actually material list page 1. Page 1 has got the cutaway view of the whole roller assembly, so you can see how they all fit into each other. Page 2 is the actual details on cutting out the box tube. And page 3 is the base. And basically, it's just showing you the length there, and then I did radius the corners so that they're not sharp. That's this corner right here. And I'll cover more into that when I'm actually machining them. All right, page 4's got the pivot support and the pivot block, which are these two parts right here, which actually help support the pivot pin itself. And page 5, the last one here, we have the roller pin keeper. We have both pins, the roller pin and the pivot pin, and a tube spacer, and of course the bearing number, and that completes that. Now, we're looking at reasonable kits, reasonable price, reasonable fee to go ahead and cut them up, sand them, dress them, get them boxed up and prepped out for you. Now the shipping. All right, and this is a key question here as well, because to ship something in the United States is very, very simple. To go to Canada, it costs a little bit more, and then go overseas, all across the pond, either direction, it's even more crazy. Especially when we're shipping out X amount of weight here. I did weigh them, and I was working on that, but I came out for the flat rate box, so that note for my weight on this whole kit just kind of blew out the window, because it was definitely over what you know, you start getting into the weight there, and the flat rate was much cheaper. I'm gonna see if I can actually get it in one of these boxes. We got one here. We're gonna go ahead and stack it up, and we're gonna see if we can get it in here. But I went ahead, and this is the small flat rate, and I priced out the medium flat rate. Shipping in the US is $12.65. The flat rate shipping to Canada is $42, and the flat rate shipping across the ponds is $62.95. Now, I've already had a request during the video Straight on Bronze. There was a suggestion in there that we had a volunteer in Australia. He said he'd like to go ahead and supply the material for the kits over there. That would eliminate the shafting. I mean, that would eliminate the shipping cost. from here, which would keep them still reasonable to have this shafting kit over in Australia. And the same thing would be if we have a volunteer in the UK, or we have a volunteer up in Canada. If you can procure the material and put it together and offer it the same as I'm offering for the fellows here in the States, that'll make this thing happen. And I'm basically just offering this as a kit build, and I'm not really out to make a statement or retire on this kit. All right, this is just a venture of goodwill. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in here. I'm still working on how I'm actually going to sell these. They are going to be sold from my website. I will probably have requests sent in, and then I'll individually create a bill through PayPal for each individual order. Something like that. We'll see on that. I'm working on that still. All right, let's see if we can go ahead and we can get this all in this little box here. Yeah, I think it goes in here like this. It's been a while since I put one of these together here. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can do this now. I know it was real tight. And if we can do this, this will lower down the shipping even more so than it was. I really don't know if those will fit in there like that and still fold up. Yeah, it looks like it will. And if it does that, wouldn't these fit in there too? Probably not. Okay, let's work on the next thing here. And I think, can we shove the bearings in here? How many bearings can we get in there? We can almost get those in there. Put that one in there. All right. Now I would slide these in here, but not all the box tubes are uniform and have a nice area in there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these down the middle like that. All right, and we can probably put these screws in here. That'll fit in there. Well, two of them go there. Two of them will go there. Perfect. All right. Now we need to go ahead and get these in here. We'll save these for a minute here. Okay, we got one bearing in there. Can't quite get three of those side by side in there, but we might be able to get Jenga. Okay. I didn't think it was going to be possible, but it looks like I got that in there. And you know, I think this ships for like $6, maybe $6.99, something like that. I tell you what, that'd be, I'm not sure how strong this is here. It is a small flat rate box. And if I wrap some tape all the way around this thing here, it may actually fly. And I'm going to give it some thought, but you know, you saw how that fits in. Actually, I would be, well, I would have to fold that up in there, and probably I might be able to get that in there as well. And definitely wouldn't have any room to put a plastic bag or anything else over that. So we're going to work out our shipping a little bit more. Look at this a little closer. This is filling the box. So let's we'll see how it goes. All right, I want you to look on my website for the shafting roller kits, and you get to look at the details there. I'm going to take some photographs of the individual items up close, and photos of the individual cut parts, so you got actually a good idea of what they are, because I know that this wasn't really a detailed view video. All right, until next time, let's get her done.